Hi everyone! Today we're gonna create the second level of the Gardenscapes game we started off like 2-3 weeks ago. As you see, this level is a bit more difficult than the previous one. In this case, you have to get rid of the dinosaur and at the same time you have to use the brown rock so that the main character can go from the left to the right side of the screen. So if you are ready, let's get started. We're gonna begin going to Pixabay, writing grass and downloading, for example, this backdrop, alright? Now in Scratch, we go to backdrops and I'm going to upload it. Let's delete this one and let's change the name of it. Backdrop 2. Zoom out, and using this tool we're going to enlarge it a little bit. Cool. I'm gonna go here to make sure that in code, no, here. Yeah, it says backdrop 2, so that's correct. So the first thing I'm gonna do is create the ground. The ground is gonna be made up of green rectangles. One here and two big rectangles here. Let's make sure this one is as high as the other one. I'm gonna make a line here, pressing shift. You can make it completely horizontal. It is not bad. And I'm gonna create the lava here. So again, one rectangle, red, no outline, and here is the lava. So let's place it here. Average should be like here when we start the second backdrop, the second level. So let's go to code, and this go to should be -195, -38. I'm gonna put this here, and we will use this block when backdrop switches to backdrop 2. Now let's go to the ground. I'm gonna call it ground 2 because it's level 2, and we code it. The code is very easy in this case. When green flag clicked, we're gonna hide it. When backdrop switches to backdrop 2, we're gonna show it. And when backdrop switches to backdrop 3, as we don't have backdrop 3, we can create it right now. Backdrop 3. Let's put backdrop 2 again. Code. When backdrop switches to backdrop 3, we hide. Now we need to create the 3 columns that we have here, the gray columns that we can hide when we touch. So let's paint rectangle. Let's take a gradient, no saturation, to choose gray. Same here. And let's make one column. Let's see. Okay, that looks high enough. I'm gonna center it. And let's call it column 2A. 2 because it's level 2 and A because we're gonna have 3. So A, B, C. So let's code it. More or less same code. When green flag clicked, we hide it. When backdrop switches to backdrop 2, we show it, and we hide it in backdrop 3. Apart from that, when it is clicked, when this sprite clicked, we're going to hide it, but to create an effect of fading out, we're going to change ghost effect by 4 25 times. And after that, we're gonna hide it. This is important. Let's click. Okay, that's good. And here we show it. Oh, and we have to clear graphic effects as well, okay, to show it. Because if not, the ghost effect doesn't allow us to see it. I'm gonna duplicate it. I'm gonna call it 2C. And this one is gonna be on the other side. If I now try to move it, as we have this program, I'm not gonna be able to. It is gonna hide. So let's move it after separating it, and now I can put it back. And I'm gonna duplicate one more time. This is gonna be B, but this one will be a little bit different because it's gonna be horizontal. So let's select it, pressing Shift. I can put it that way, and as you see, it has to be longer. I'm gonna go to code. I'm gonna separate this so that I can move it comfortably. And now let's put it back. Let's try if they work. Okay, that's cool. Let's switch backdrop to number 2, and they show. All right, now I'm gonna create the brown block. The brown block that is gonna be like here, and it's gonna fall so that it covers the lava and this hole, and Avery can walk to the other side. So let's paint again. Rectangle, more or less the same tool, but in this case with saturation. I'm gonna select 2 brown colors, one lighter than the other one. I don't like it. That's better. Let's center it, and let's see, because obviously this is too big. So this should be a little bit higher and not that wide. Okay, that's good. Let's center it here and let's size it in the correct place. This sprite is gonna be like brown block 2. When green flag clicked, it is gonna hide. When backdrop switches to backdrop 2, we show it, and we hide it when backdrop switches to backdrop 3. But in this case, the initial position is gonna be up there. So X is gonna be 3 as well. So go to X3, Y 174. That's good. And in this case, we gotta create the gravity effect. That's something I already explained in one video, so have a look at it if you haven't seen it yet. And let's begin. I have to create a variable which is going to be y velocity, but in this case that's going to be for this sprite only. So we're going to repeat this until this is touching the lava. So until touching red color. Using this tool we can select exactly that color, which is easy, 0, 100, 100. And what are we going to repeat? The following. If this block is touching that one, so if touching column 2B, we're gonna set y velocity to 0. If not, we're gonna change y velocity by -1 so that it goes down, and we're gonna be changing y by y velocity. When it is touching the red color, so the lava, and this program stops, we're gonna replace it correctly, so it is gonna go to that position, which is, as you see, x4, y -124. Let's hide this variable and let's try if this is working properly. First of all, switch backdrop to backdrop 2, and let's see. Okay, that's cool. Let's see if it goes to its initial position as it should go. Not exactly. Yes, I know why. It's because we have to set y velocity to 0 at the beginning. Let's see now if we switch backdrop to backdrop 2. Yes, now it's perfect. So as you see, this is very important, okay? So now having this, we're gonna create the dinosaur. That's quite more complicated. Here it is. The size could be like 70. Let's place it here. It's gonna be pointing in the opposite direction, so -90. But so that it doesn't stay upside down. Yes, left, right, rotation style. So, well, same code. When green flag clicked, we hide it. When backdrop switches to backdrop 2, we show it. And well, there are more things we have to do, obviously. And when backdrop switches to backdrop 3, we hide it as well. So first of all, in the dinosaur, we're going to configure the y velocity, because obviously the dinosaur, when it is here, it has to fall down. So again, a variable which is going to be y velocity for the sprite, so dinosaur for y velocity, and y velocity is going to be working simultaneously when backdrop switches to backdrop 2 at the same time of this second program, which is going to control the movement, okay, the dinosaur walking. So here we're going to make something similar to the program we've made here in the brown block. In this case, we're going to repeat it until we're touching Avery or we're touching the lava. So until touching every walking or touching this color. What are we going to repeat? This. If we are touching either the ground or the brown block, the dinosaur is not going to fall down. So in those cases, we're going to set y velocity to 0, and let's put it at the beginning as we've done before to avoid problems. So again, we need an or. If we're touching, we need color. If we're touching this color, the ground, or we're touching that, so I can't see it, wait a second, here, brown block 2, we're gonna set y velocity to 0, else we're gonna change y velocity by -1, and as usually we're gonna change y by y velocity. And now after this, if we're touching, let's see it here, if we're touching red color, the dinosaur is gonna die, okay, we're gonna get rid of it. So we're gonna create a fun effect. We're gonna change ghost by 4, and we're gonna change pixelate by 4 as well. We're gonna repeat it 25 times. You know that 25 times 4 equals 100. And after that, important, we're gonna hide it. As we're changing the graphic effects, it's important that when we begin, we clear graphic effects. And now we have to make our dinosaur walk. So on the other program, the one we're going to run simultaneously, we're gonna make it go to the original position. So that is this one, okay? As you see, it's the same. And again, we're gonna repeat this until same conditions, okay? One of them. So let's bring it here. All right. What are we gonna repeat? We're gonna move 10 steps, but if we're touching either this column or this column, we're gonna go back. So if touching one of those columns, So touching column 2A or 2C, we're gonna go back. As this happens instantly, you're gonna see the dinosaur. You are not gonna see the dinosaur going there and going back, okay? It's gonna be still. It won't be able to go forward. After this, we're gonna go to next costume. If you see the dinosaur, it has 4 costumes, but I'm only interested in these 2 because they create like a movement effect or a walking effect. So we're gonna get rid of those 2, and so that it doesn't change too fast, wait 0.1 seconds. If you're wondering why I've created 2 separate programs instead of everything in one, it's because here I have the block weight. So if this weight affects the gravity, it is gonna fall too slowly, and that's gonna affect the realism of this game, okay? And that's all. Let's see if it works. Green flag. Let's begin. And as you see, the dinosaur is not walking, and I'm gonna tell you the reason. The reason is because this program works until it is touching Avery, and the same this one. But what happens when we finish the first program? Avery is here. If the dinosaur appears before Avery goes here, which is what is happening here, the dinosaur finishes the program at the very beginning. So to give Avery some time to go to this position before this program starts running, we're gonna wait for 0.1 seconds. And you will see now that it will work. Okay? So, first of all, let's try this. This is the effect I was telling you about. But if we do this first, and now this, the dinosaur can walk through. It stops here, and let's see if it continues until touching Avery. Okay, that's cool. So now we have to code Avery. The rest is perfect. Let's hide this variable, and let's go to Avery. So we're gonna do the same. When backdrop switches to backdrop 2, we're gonna run 2 programs at the same time. So let's create the Y velocity for this sprite only, and we're gonna repeat this until, and in this case there are gonna be 3 conditions. Let's put them here. We're gonna repeat the gravity effect on Avery until we're touching the dinosaur or we're touching the lava. I can't see it. Wait a second. Avery again. Or I am touching the edge, which means I've won. What are we gonna repeat? You know, if I'm touching, and this is the same as in the dinosaur, if I'm touching either the brown block or the ground, which is this color, I'm gonna set Y velocity to 0. Else, we're gonna change Y velocity by -1, and all the time we're gonna be changing, sorry, it's not this, we're gonna be changing Y by Y velocity. And here, more or less the same as well. Let's duplicate this to take advantage of this, which is already created. So Avery is gonna be walking, but if touching one of the 2 columns, which are 2A or 2C, it's going to go back, so -10 steps. And as we've done with the dinosaur, next costume and wait 0.1 seconds. And now we say, if touching the edge, this has to be here. If touching the edge at the end of this program, we're gonna go to next backdrop, but if it is touching either the dinosaur or the lava, and we're gonna create this effect as it is already created. We can reuse it, and if we haven't missed anything, the game would be finished. It is very common that you miss some things, that you don't realize you've made a mistake, and you need to fix your program. So the method, the procedure is very simple. You try your program, you try all the possibilities when you choose the right option in the game, and when you choose the wrong option, you have to make sure in every case it works correctly. And if it does, that's perfect, but if it doesn't, you go to look for the bug, for the mistake that you've made, for the error, and you try to fix it. So that's what we're going to do now. Let's hide this variable, full screen, green flag, and let's try. Alright, let's try what happens if I do that. That's perfect. As you see, game over has to be in the front layer, so that's something we can do right now. I'm gonna go here, that's quite simple. Where is it? Here. Go to front layer, and let's continue trying. If you're wondering why this happened, I will tell you later. Let's try this. Okay, that works. Look, about it. The problem is the same problem that we made with the dinosaur. We have to set y velocity to 0 at the beginning. Let's see what happens if the dinosaur and the main character meet. Okay, that's what we expected. And let's see if we are intelligent and wise enough to finish the program correctly. Let's see if we're able to go to the third backdrop. First of all, we get rid of the dinosaur. Now we cover the lava, and now we continue. As you see, it should go to the front layer, so we will do it now. Okay, that's perfect. As we said, we can put it, for example, here. Go to front layer, and that's all, guys. This is the program. This is level 2. I hope you liked it. I think this game is gonna be really cool. So try to do it in your houses, and see you next time. Bye bye.